From the roar of the crowd to the roar of the engines, this is Pit Pass.
Pit Pass is brought to you by Jake's Karts. Here's your host, Ron Fox.
Hello and thanks for joining us for another edition of Pit Pass here on WHVL. Before we get on with the show, here's a recent development to pass along. While in Iowa for the Knoxville Nationals, Tyler Walker met with his Keen Motorsports team to advise them that due to illness, he did not feel safe to race, for his sake and the safety of the other drivers. Walker returned to his home in California for further medical evaluations. It was only a month ago that Walker and Keen Motorsports was victorious in the prestigious Kings Royal at Eldora. Then on Sunday, it was announced that Mr. Excitement Todd Schaefer would be piloting the Peterbilt ride going forward. Best wishes to Tyler and good luck to the number 17 team. As for this week's show, I did not get in as much racing as I'd hoped. On Tuesday, Penn Speedway's Hot Summer Night Special, which featured a $5,000 to win modified race, was rained out. It will not be rescheduled. And Saturday, I had a family wedding to attend. By the way, congratulations, Brittany and Daniel. So that only left Friday night, so I made my way to Lernerville Speedway for some Fab 4 racing action. Jeremiah Shingledecker in the 37 started on the pole for the 30-lap Joe Pickavish Memorial Race. As they take the green, Brian Weaver in the yellow number 1 hugs the bottom of turns 1 and 2. On the exit, he is able to move into second place ahead of Steve Fetter in the 45 car. 2 laps later, the 38 of Phil Evans is now third, while the 61 of Dave Murdoch passes Fetter and begins to work on Evans. Fetter is left to contend with the 17 of Kevin Hoffman for a position. On a restart, we have the 83 of Brian Swartzlander, the all-time modified wins leader at Lernerville, deep in the field after a DNF in his heat race. As we go back to green flag action, Shingledecker pulls away from Weaver while Murdoch works the top side of 1 and 2. Shingledecker, Weaver, Evans, and Fetter run single file on the bottom. Off of turn 2, Murdoch gets a run on the leader as Weaver dives low into turn 3. Shingledecker slides high, allowing Weaver to take over the lead. There is a little contact, but Weaver holds on to the spot. Then Shingledecker spins to bring out another yellow. Weaver gets a clean start when the green flag drops again. However, they are 4 wide briefly behind him as Murdoch clears Evans to hold on to second place. Hoffman and the 11 of Brad Rapp run in the 4th and 5th spots. After another caution, Weaver and Murdoch would run many laps like this. Weaver would make it stick on the bottom as Murdoch continued to make the topside work for his red number 61 machine. They would swap the lead many times, although Weaver led most of the laps at the scoring line. Murdoch's strength seemed to be in turns 1 and 2, and Weaver ran a little bit better through 3 and 4. We had a few cautions about a third of the way through the event. On this restart with 17 laps down, Kevin Boland in the red 777 and the defending modified champion tries to close on Weaver. However, Murdoch again works his magic on the top side to power into the lead as they go down the backstretch. Boland runs the middle groove as Weaver sticks to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Murdoch has the lead, yet chooses to enter turn 1 on the low side. Weaver squeezes under him and is able to pull even off of turn 2. A restart with 8 laps to go bunches the field. Weaver leads with Shingledecker back in the hunt, challenging Murdoch and Boland. As was the case through much of the feature, Weaver stuck to the bottom of the turns while Murdoch worked the cushion. Then as they crossed the line most of the time, they were almost side by side. A rash of cautions with about 5 laps to go makes things interesting as Weaver and Shingledecker make contact on a restart. Murdoch powers by on the outside as they head into turn 1. Boland slides high while Murdoch dives under him yet loses ground to Weaver. Shingledecker would contest the runner-up spot with Murdoch on the last lap, but it would be Brian Weaver crossing the line first. However, after a second trip across the scales, Weaver's car was found to be 10 pounds too light, handing the win to Dave Murdoch. Dave, congratulations on the win, although I'm sure you would like to have been the first one to cross the line.
Yeah, I guess I've lost them by 3 points, so I guess, it all comes around, but you definitely would rather beat them than than get it handed to you like that.
As a fan, I'd like to say thanks for putting on quite a show. You're really making that top side work.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, there was some bite there, but there's a fine line whether if you hit it or not. And we're fortunate enough to hit it enough times to maintain it anyways.
Could you tell Racing Weaver that you guys were swapping lead that much? I mean, you know, it all depended on where you were on the track, who was ahead.
Yeah, it was fun. Even at the start-finish line, I know we were side by side more, you know, multiple times. It was just a lot of fun. You know, that's fun racing like that.
Bolin and Shingledecker, who came from the back after his earlier misfortune, they closed on you guys, but you were still able to hold them off.
Yeah, I know. The restarts probably helped everybody too. You know, it seemed like we just could never get that long green running, and I think I was better in the long greens. I just never got that chance to really shine it. But Boland did have a couple of them bonsais coming in the corner there, and it made it interesting anyways. But Jeremiah, you got to hand it to him starting tail like that, and coming up twice actually spun, and to come up and get second in the scheme of things, that's really pretty tough to do.
Murdoch's fourth victory of the season netted him over $3,000. Shingledecker recovered for a great finish in second. Bolin was third, ahead of Brad Rapp and Mark Flick. Swartzlander fell out of the event to finish 15th. Later in the show, we will have more Fab 4 racing from Friday night at Lernerville. Coming up next, it may be a look into the future. Will we see a new type of race car here in Pennsylvania? Details when we return.
When you think golf carts, think Jake's Custom Golf Carts. With over 300 stock and lifted carts at their shop, you'll find the cart you need or have Jake's build one to your specs. Custom airbrushing, lift kits, sport shifters, rear seats. You name it, with the expertise and craftsmanship people have come to expect from Jake's. Come see for yourself why Jake's is the nation's premier golf cart provider. Jake's Golf Carts, Route 522 McVeigh Town. Online at jakesgolfcarts.com.